Hi, I'm Dr. Chad Larson. Thanks for joining me in another episode of Keep It Real. If you've been following the supplement industry or just noticing in health food stores or maybe even your doctor's office, there's a supplement that's called collagen or collagen peptides. There's lots of different manufacturers out there, and they claim lots of different things, like it's helpful for your skin and hair, nails and joints, and it helps to decrease pain, and it's a source of protein and amino acids. So I wanted to dig in the literature a little bit and see if there's any good studies that really help to back up some of these claims, and then share that information with you. So as I dove into the literature, I found out that there's actually quite a few studies on collagen and collagen peptides and hydrosylated collagen, and a bunch of different kind of varieties and different types of collagen that are used in different types of studies. So I definitely found some. I'll have to admit that a lot of them weren't really well designed studies, so some of those I didn't really pay as much attention to, and I don't think the results really warranted our attention as much as some of the other ones. But there's an interesting study, as you know from past episodes, that I deal a lot with athletes and orthopedic and musculoskeletal injuries and issues, and so I was interested in the pain and joint functionality component, and I did find an interesting study that was published last year in a journal called Applied Physiology and Nutrition. And what they did is they evaluated the joint function of athletes who have something that we call functional joint pain or functional joint issues, meaning they're able to use the joint, they're not immobilized, they're able to use the joint, but the more exercise they engage in, the stiffer and more painful the joint gets. And so it's called functional joint issues or functional joint pain. And what they did in this study is they wanted to see how collagen affected these people with functional joint issues. And so what they did is they split the subjects into two different groups, and they gave half the groups a certain type of bovine. Bovine means it comes from cattle, bovine cartilage, and they gave the other half of the subjects just a placebo, meaning it's just kind of a fake substance. And so what they did is they had the athletes continue to engage in their physical activity, and then they rated their pain, and then they evaluated the function of the joint. And to make a long story short, there was actually a statistically significant improvement in the group that was taking the 5 grams of collagen. So I thought that was interesting, and so I've been taking collagen now just to try it out myself for about 2 months, and I've actually have to say that I've actually experienced a pretty nice increase in functionality of my knee joints, and that's actually what the study was on functional pain of the knees in these athletes. And doing a lot of hiking and jogging and walking through the hills, I experienced a little bit of joint pain, and on some occasions a few months ago, the further I went, the more pain and stiffness that I had in the joints. So I thought, I might be a good test case for this. So before I did a show on this, I wanted to try it out for a while so I can kind of deliver some of my own personal experience. And I definitely had a pretty significant improvement in my joint function and a decrease of the joint pain, not only during the exercise but later, which is where sometimes some of the stiffness and pain would kick in. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And if you look around, if you Google, you'll find that there's lots of different types of collagen out there, and which ones are good, which ones are not so good, which ones probably don't really fit the claims that they're making on the label or on the website. And so there's actually quite a bit of detail in this field, and so I thought maybe over the next couple of episodes I'll dive a little bit deeper into the science of using collagen supplementation, and also go into maybe how to differentiate between a good supplement and maybe a not so good supplement. One that I have been taking for these last couple months is called Perfect Collagen, and I'll discuss in the next episode what makes this particular collagen, I think, effective, maybe compared to some other types. And some things to look for are the sources of the collagen. Oftentimes we want to go with more than just one source, like it can come from bovine or eggshells or fish. It can come from chicken. So there's different sources of these collagen peptides, and each source of collagen peptide kind of supplies you with a different type of collagen. They call it like type 2, type 3, type 5, type 10. There's all these different types that we'll go into in the next couple episodes, and we'll talk about what each type is good for, how it's useful in the body, what kind of indications, if you have a certain condition that you're considering taking collagen, what type might be ideal for you, or maybe you want to take a broad spectrum type. So this type, Perfect Collagen, I'll compare this one to some other ones out there in kind of a generic way, and kind of help you to understand how to read the label and what to look for. So I'll keep reading the studies, bringing the information, and we'll look forward to diving deeper into collagen peptides and collagen supplementation in the next couple episodes. Until then, we'll see you later. Keep it real.